on the internet? Are we live right now? I see us. Oh my god, we're here. Okay. Hey everybody. Welcome to a really interesting Oathsworn stream. This is more of a chill fireside chat Q&A kind of deal. We're obviously not joined by our dungeon master today because he's on vacation, and we're just like, we still like want to vibe and talk about this awesome story that we're telling and everything. So why not just do a fun stream where we talk about all of that, and maybe see if chat here has any questions or interesting points about the campaign that they'd like to share. So yeah, it's kind of the premise of this. Y'all should know me. It's me, Sir Heckalot. I'm here. I'm on your screen. And in this campaign, I play Calliope, who is a siren bard that is in the College of Epic Poetry and walks the path of the Dragon Slayer, who I guess now has slayed the dragon, which is wild. But yeah, I'm obviously not here just by myself. I'm joined by other folks in the cast. So we're going in a weird order now because I'm in the middle. But let's take it over to the beginning again with Comrade.
Hey! No, it's fun because I didn't have to go first. Yes, I am Comrade Crash. I play Leo Dracos, the human paladin. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. But let's pass it on to Chrissy.
Hello, I'm Chrissy. I play Tefera Damos. She's our Medusa Warlock, and she is walking the path of the Haunted One. And that means we're skipping Heck and going straight to the man with the thumbs.
We're sure he has them.
Are you
They're there
sure?
somewhere.
You gave us a thumbs down. Okay. For behind, oh my god, how dare you? How dare you? For behind the scenes, for behind the scenes chat and our like pre-game call, we do like a thumbs up for like, are we all ready to go? And Tony always refuses to show his thumbs. So we're sure they're probably somewhere over there.
You gotta pay extra for Tony's thumbs.
Yeah.
You gotta give them primes. You gotta give them primes for the thumbs.
I think currently Tony's thumbs has a talent agent and
A bodyguard.
Yep.
This is very good. The only thing with that, we're talking about Discord names, is that sometimes I won't understand like who is talking or like who is doing something because they're all just Tony. And I'm just like, this. Okay, I really have to pay attention to the profile picture.
Yeah, I had that issue when I first came back because I think I took the day off and then, or the session off, and then that's when you guys were like, oh, we're all Tonys now. It's like, wait, what? What's going on?
Exactly.
Oops, all Tonys. Speaking of, I'm Tony. I'm playing Eliana Legide, the High Elf Prophecy Cleric who walks the path of the Gifted One. Who knows if I have thumbs, because that would just prove things, and we're not here to prove things.
Or are we? Maybe this is just an interrogation to see if Tony is a thumb haver.
Do I or do I not have opposable thumbs? Find out tonight.
That's just one of the questions. I'm very surprised Turk didn't put that in his list of questions.
Does Tony have thumbs?
Okay, well, I already see one question in chat, which makes me really happy. It's from BP Tapir, like the BP Tapir, who you've seen some of their art in our slideshow at the beginning of every episode, and it fucking rocks. So yeah, BP Tapir's question is, how many dragons can fit inside one in parentheses campaign before it loses structural integrity?
We're gonna find out.
I'm not sure. Yeah, like if anyone, or we're probably gonna test it real soon.
Because we already have 3, right?
Yeah, we have 3, but we've like seen more dragons is the thing. Like, how many dragons have we seen, including ours?
So there was 3 from the ones that came to pick us up, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
then-
true.
There's one Pythor had a romantic relationship.
Uh-huh. That's somewhere we haven't physically seen, but we know
We
exists.
haven't gone to their island yet. That's
Yeah, we haven't gone to their island yet, but we know
Um,
exists.
We have the 2 babies.
2 babies.
We have the egg.
The egg.
My
That feels like a half a dragon.
relative. My relative had a dragon, right?
Oh yeah, what's his nuts?
Yeah.
The dude
Yeah,
who
what's-
came out
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
the
you
silver
almost absolutely
dragon.
annihilated him.
The silver dragon, yeah. Fucking what?
He-
I don't remember
he-
her name.
He has a Dear Diary.
Gaius's
I
dragon,
love this
yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, Gaius's
Um,
dragon. And then our good old friend Helios. So
Yeah.
that's 9. And then we've technically seen Balmitra in flashbacks, which would
I
make
was
that
just gonna
10.
ask if we're including flashbacks.
I would.
I was gonna say because she passed because we went to her grave tomb.
Yeah. It was like we also saw her in flashbacks, which I would count. Like, canonically speaking, we know.
So we
So
have
that's already a lot. We know there's gonna be more.
So how many to lose structural integrity? 21.
You know, that seems fair. That seems fair. It can hold so many dragons in it.
Slap the
Meanwhile,
top of this campaign. This puppy
Exactly.
can hold so many dragons in it.
exactly, and it just like takes me over to a campaign that Chrissy, myself, and Corndog are in, where there have been so many more dragons. It's still intact somehow, but it's about dragons though. It's tyranny of dragons.
I will admit that when we first started playing this game, I assumed that most of what we did would be like slaying and fighting dragons and not collecting their eggs. And
Yeah.
that was a little bit of a shock from like when Turk surprised us with the first like kind of like baby dragon egg. I was like, oh damn, we got to take care of this thing now.
Uh-huh. And
Uh,
we're all getting one.
Yeah, so that was
Oh, no.
unexpected. I wasn't expecting everybody to kind of get one of those. I figured like, maybe Leo's character or Eliana, like a couple of the like kind of warrior-y characters.
Mhm.
It's been pretty interesting to see how it all is unfolding.
I agree. It's gonna be interesting. I'm very curious, like, how the relationships between all of the baby dragons are gonna develop with each of the characters, and then we still haven't found all of the eggs, so how we're going to find the others, or how they're gonna find us, I guess.
Maybe there's one here for you on Helios's.
And
funny
it
little
might.
garden.
That's I'm so scared of that. I'm so scared of that. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. I'm just like, oh no.
I mean,
We're gonna
surprised me
twist
with
the knife a little bit.
Turk surprised me with one in a tote bag, so.
True.
like,
From Kira, no less.
Here's your
so.
Sephora dragon.
Superlatives. Who's the most likely to get stuck in a hole?
Defera.
Oh,
Yeah, all right. Both of those answers track actually really
Yeah.
well.
yeah.
But is it to get to Leo's attention?
No,
What?
Okay.
I mean she wouldn't get stuck in a hole just to get Leo's attention, but she would get stuck in a hole while
Are you
talking
sure?
to Leo with Leo for sure.
Mm,
Like,
mm.
If they were walking together and she were to fall into a hole, she would just be like, yeah, that tracks for how this goes with that.
Because she's always lost in his eyes or something.
Absolutely. That's
No.
absolutely it, for sure.
No. Yeah. Last time, Defera was very.
Tony, I
Into-
swear to God.
into,
Listen, we're not doing like a whole fancy
Yeah, it's
episode.
a chill stream, so you
I'm
can use
using the
Discord
soundboard.
now.
I pay for the soundboard.
Fair enough.
Good for you. But yeah, no, like when you were showing off the armor and stuff, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, now she's getting very bold.
Mm-hmm.
Friend, she was trying to take a little nod from Borghild's book there. That was new for her, because that's not a vibe for Miss Defera, so.
I know, it's neat. She's definitely had an influence, like, in different areas of the party, which I think is really interesting, just to, like, I guess, bring in a new dynamic. Yeah, it's caused a lot. Like the conversation that you know, she was having about, Defera and Leo needing to just talk, right? It's just like we need to have some type of conversation. I think started this whole like domino effect that has led to what it is now.
Well, just that.
Also, yeah, also
Sometimes, talking is all it takes, for
imagine.
imagine.
But also going, fucking Pythor, which is like, great.
That's a vibe.
That was the vibe. Not what I was expecting when we're like, oh yeah, let's bring on a new character, a new player, but like, it's so good.
So I don't know, like we started this game with like a very heavy environment. Like everybody had very, very emotional, dark backstories for this game, to be fair. We all came in with like a bunch of trauma.
We did.
So it was like hard in the beginning, I think, to like just foundationally get to know each other because we came with so much shit. And then Borghild just kind of like stomped through the door and was like, nah, here we are. Like we're doing it
now. Hey, what's up? I don't know where the fuck I am.
Yeah, and created like a lot of space to just like, all right, this is what we're doing. So I've been really grateful for that because I think it helped kind of shift some of. We were already shifting that way, I think.
Yeah.
Fair, but like naturally,
it really broke the ice more. Yeah.
But yeah, her coming in and being like, oh no, you say and do the thing, and like from Defera's standpoint, that was like, oh, none of us have said or done the thing the whole campaign.
No,
we have around the bush about saying or doing the thing.
We've walled the fuck up. Like, yeah, no. Getting to, actually open up to each other, as much as like we sometimes call each other out for it, like we're still all kind of holding secrets. It's very like, dramatic irony because the audience is just like, oh my god, like, they're getting these visions and stuff and they're just not talking about it. How dare they? Here we are. But no, I think towards, the last, bit of this campaign, it's definitely going to change a lot, especially as, people or the characters, get more into their personal milestones and everything. That's why I really kind of like these epic paths too, because I think it adds that into the personal journey. That's not, just a mechanical level up.
Great. We've had a couple of questions, and then Turk gave us questions, and I had
You
questions.
did.
So, who is most likely a Disney? Who is most like a Disney princess? We all are in our own little ways.
Yeah, okay. I think something fun to do would be like, which Disney princesses do you think your character is most like?
Disney princess? Can I go Disney character?
Yeah, sure.
All right, give me a minute to think about this.
Oh no. Well, if I was a character, definitely, Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And the ironic part is that I have played Eliana a lot like Meg from
You really have. You really
Very
have.
much so.
But Meg's really good. That's a good character.
Meg is awesome. Yeah.
Super babe.
Dude, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know who Calliope would be like, is the thing. Now we just open it up to characters, so I'm like, oh, there's so many to think about.
Yeah, and then like I'm just Googling through all the princesses and stuff, just to like.
Yeah, let me do that too. Disney. Let's see.
I'm probably gonna put only the Fox version. That's fair, corn dog. That's fair.
Ooh. There are some good ones. I mean, I'm not a... I don't know. This is a really hard question. I would say kind of a mix between maybe like a Merida for Defera, like just a little bit too stubborn for her own good. But she's not nearly as like battle ready as Merida is from Brave.
Mhm.
The one that's coming to mind for Calliope, only because she basically killed her own Jabberwocky, is the Tim Burton Alice.
Oh, that would be good. That'd be really good. Yeah.
What do we think for Threnos?
I gotta think of Sad Man.
I know, who are the sad boys of Disney?
You could just do the emotion of sad.
Oh my
Sure.
god.
Oh yeah.
Sad. No,
Technically
he's not.
Pixar.
He's
Wow,
not
that's a
quite.
Pixar.
Oh, that is
Oh,
Pixar.
I
Yeah, you're right.
that.
That's not Disney. Shit.
It's Disney.
I would say that the one who is most like a Disney princess, honestly, is probably Leo.
Yeah,
True.
that tracks, actually. Yeah.
I don't know why, but like the next kind of thing that I think about for Threnos is like maybe like an Aladdin type vibe. Like maybe. He was a sad boy for a bit. It's like it's not quite. It's not quite perfect.
Simba. But I.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, okay,
Oh,
that's
right.
actually really good.
That's good,
yeah,
yeah.
that's basically, yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
he's getting
Kind of
his
big, so I didn't know if I
Matata
wanted to
going
say
on.
that. So, HP, don't kill me if you disagree.
I like this.
What's he gonna do? Cry on you?
Oof. Oof. See, okay, something that we revisited because of a surprise that we're not going to talk about on stream because I think it'd be interesting for the viewers to learn about later. I totally forgot that Threnos was like 5'4", 5'5". I was like, he's a short king. I was like, I don't know. I just totally forgot about that. I don't know about y'all. Like, I have a really hard time, like, you know, remembering how tall everybody in the group is and just like, you know, things about them.
It's really interesting because it's hard. And I don't know about you guys as players, but like in my mind, when I picture Eliana, I kind of just picture Tony. Like, and I know that's not like in my brain, like, but the art for Eliana is stunning. So like, it's one of those things where it's like that's not at all, but my brain just like doesn't reconcile it for some reason
Oh.
sometimes.
I should open Photoshop right now.
Oh
But,
my
like,
god.
Yeah, please
Tony
do
with
fucking not.
the hair in the hair.
But no,
Especially after what I
really
was just
would love-
doing, which was fucking coughing on my own spit.
No, I say that to say, like, I really would love if we could kind of describe actually what our characters, like, in our minds look like, or what, like, some of the art looks like. Because to some degree, I think that, like, it's been so long, like, we've been traveling together as characters, sure, but, like, as players, we don't often talk about, like, what our characters look like in the game. Like, we don't say, like, oh, Defera's, like, super disheveled right now. Her dress is ripped and she's messy and, you know, like, we don't talk about stuff like that. We're not super descriptive. So, like, remind me what Calliope and Leo and Eliana look like. And Borghild, because I know Corndog's in chat. Like, what do you guys look like as characters? Corndog just said mine is my pick. Well, sure, but I can't look at that right now.
Very helpful. Yes, thanks. I mean, like, I actually had to revisit how tall Calliope is because it's like I'm pretty sure I had her as like 5'6", 5'7", which is true. That's why I ended up having her being. But yeah, no, she has like these almost mixed between like amber and like amethyst eyes that I haven't really talked about in like a long time. I think I did at the beginning of the campaign, just haven't talked about because I don't know, it's not something that you know, I've really focused on in the moment. and has kind of this dirty blonde hair that's more wavy than anything. Goes past her shoulders and is probably like, I mean, that's the thing, like, we don't really talk about like our characters like upkeep or anything. Have, you know, the male characters grown beards? Like, are they able to grow beards? Maybe they're not. Or like, I don't know, have we let our hair grow out? Like, that's not even something that I've really thought about, but like, maybe Calliope would do that. I don't really see why not. And I think I've talked about her wings a little bit. And I definitely haven't really talked about this too much to the chat, or at least the Neon Lights chat. But in developing Calliope as a character, I didn't take it. It worked out in a way that you know, Calliope is one of the muses. One of the muses of epic poetry, but that's not even really why I chose Calliope as a name for her. I took a lot of my inspiration of like her wings being like almost this pinkish hue with maybe a little bit of green from the Calliope hummingbird, because I don't know, I'm a fucking bird nerd. Of course I did that. Of course I did that. This, you know, this was years ago. But they're really interesting birds. If you haven't looked them up, I highly recommend. They're very, very pretty. That's, you know, some of the inspiration for her aesthetic that I did at the very beginning.
What y'all look like? I want to know. So I can stop picturing you, Tony, in my mind.
So, Eliana, I believe she might be the tallest of the group. Or, I don't know how tall Borghild is offhand. And I know I can't get into that info on their D&D Beyond page, but Eliana is 6'1". She's a pretty...
Yeah, that's much taller than I imagined. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. She's fairly muscular. Like pro athlete built. Like, she's got the most strength in the party too. She's at an 18.
True.
And she's got like just past her shoulder length, like platinum white hair. She's got hazel eyes. Her skin's I had it down as more of like an olive because she's outside enough, but I don't really know if with all the armor and stuff on that she's probably got some really wretched fucking tan lines at this point.
Oh my god. You know what I'm imagining? Do you know that like old magazine picture of like, and it got turned into a meme of like summer sports and the tan lines you get from them, and like a lot of them will be like water sports, and then there's the band kid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining.
I don't even remember what I took like her inspiration off of. I think I just kind of came up with a couple of interesting concepts and just smashed it together.
If you could compare Eliana to any one fictional character, who would you pick? Like, looks-wise. Are you going like Meg vibes? Like, are you trying to give like kind of saucy, sexy vibes?
No,
I
would say that she's way too built to look anything like Meg, who's supposed to be like that almost curvy look to her, which worked well with like since Hercules was more blocky in the movie. God, I don't know if there is like a character I can think of that she would look like. Like nothing's coming to my mind.
Comrade, what's Leo changing into as he ages through this campaign?
I don't think he's changing. We'll see. Well, like, yeah, he's gonna get maybe his old armor. I think that was his goal. But no, like his inspiration, of course, is Hades from what's his name? Segris. And yeah, but like I didn't want him to be that edgy and dark. I wanted him to be more goofy.
That's fair.
And so yeah, he's just classic ancient Greek guy, but very pretty eyes, you know.
Super tanned and oiled up.
Super tanned and oiled up, exactly.
Yeah, we have olive oil now. We made it.
We made it, and it's magic olive oil, so.
It is magical. It's true. We have to remember that. I have such a hard time remembering like resources and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we have this like super helpful thing, like, you know, like the smelling salts or whatever that like help us get spell slots and stuff back. I always forget them. I don't.
I certainly do not remember these at all.
I know at some point we had them. I don't know if we have any more, but I know we did at some point. But yeah, remembering resources is hard. D&D is hard sometimes.
Let's see. I think for Defera, her changing throughout this campaign, there's probably not too much changing. I think people always think that she's like green or something. Like I've had people message me and be like, well, she's like a snake. And I'm like, no.
Not all snakes are green.
Wow, man. So I think her character art, when I commissioned it, it's really stunning art. I wish I could remember off the top of my head the name of the artist. But she's actually like kind of like blondish red with like, and her snakes are a little bit more red than blonde, which is why she keeps it a little bit more covered than normal, because it's pretty shocking when you see it. It's intended to be. And I think her eyes are green, if I remember correctly, also from her art. That there were some things about her that I was like, yeah, you don't have to go like naturally Grecian, like kind of attributes, like it wasn't necessary. And the artist really kind of nailed it. But again, that's always apt to change, and I'm not particularly sold on anything, but I remember her character art being like that. I would say probably at this point, she's been so stressed out a few times that, like, similar to how like you get gray hairs when stressed out, that maybe she's gotten some like white snakes through there.
Oh,
like some,
that's
like,
kind of cool.
Slivers of like, I would love to imagine something like that.
So yeah, so your theory is more, you grow new snakes instead of just having like the same snakes, I guess. Like you also have those, but
yeah,
I didn't think about that. That's neat.
I don't know. I mean, in my mind, it's like, what does she just have like these big chunky snakes, or is it like tons of tiny little snakes? All of it sounds kind of weird. So in my mind, I'm like, well, you know, she probably has hair still, and like some of it is through all of the snakes, and then as she gets stressed out, maybe the snakes turn into like gray hairs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's wild. But I love that. That's so cool. Alright, do we want to crack into some of these Turk questions?
Let's do it. We have some other questions from chat we'll pepper into.
Yeah, we'll pepper into those. But yeah, he sent us 7 questions. I would hate to just not answer any of them.
That's what he gets for not being here.
Yeah, no, it's okay. No, we love you. We love you, Turk, if you end up watching this or tuning in. But yeah, alright, so the first question at least is, what in your opinion has changed the most about your character? What has remained the same? What's something that you think changed that others haven't noticed?
Get into it, Eliana.
Why me?
Because you laughed ironically at it.
That's what I do.
I know, and this time you're gonna pay for it.
Oh shit, my hubris, it's gotten me. Fuck. Okay. I think Eliana's what's changed most about her. She's talking a lot more. I'll tell you that much. Her whole
True.
thing was just kind of like, let me just sit way back here and let you deal with everything. Yes. What will remain the same? I think maybe like I don't know.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I feel like Eliana feels more invested in what we're doing now. Maybe Eliana was very invested in our mission solo, like for what she needed done. I don't know if that's like safe to assume, but it feels now for like DeFera that Eliana, there's a little bit more buy-in with the team aspect.
Yeah, at first her thought was like, oh, let's get the group together and everything will be fine. It's like, no, it's not enough there, bucko. You can do a little more than that. A little more than the bare minimum. Although I want to say probably her demeanor stayed the same. And then something I think changed that no others haven't noticed. That I honestly do not know. I guess the only other thing that might have changed is how she's behaving towards Kira, because their thing's been fairly private. No one else is pretty much around. So, who knows? I know, but who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, no, I think Calliope is coming from a lot of the same place, at least in terms of, you know, initially getting together with this group. Because I remember saying, like, her saying at the very beginning of this, when we all made the oath and everything, it's like, I am here for this personal stake, this personal goal that I want to do. She wasn't very specific about it in the very beginning, but it was very much more self-serving than it was, oh, you know, yes, save the world. Yeah, sure. I just know that I can't do this one thing by myself, and if the rest of us join a group, yeah, I can help them do their things, but they're gonna help me do my thing. So it was a lot more self-serving than now. I think there's a lot more personal stake, as you know, she's gotten to know everybody else. I think that has been a really big turnaround through the course of this campaign. In terms of staying the same, I think her feelings towards that goal, which we just accomplished last session, slaying a dragon, I think that stayed mostly the same. She stayed very angry the whole time. You know, we're gonna probably unpack that pretty soon. We're gonna unpack that, but a lot of that stayed the same, I think. A lot of that like also got kind of channeled out towards the Titans as well, and really just kind of anybody getting in her way. Yeah, that's kind of where that sits. And then something like I don't even know. I don't know what the other folks wouldn't have noticed. Or maybe like something not as talked about, but it's kind of a positive thing. Is this kind of over the course of this campaign, you know, during some of the like earlier combats, and even like, you know, I think the breaking point of that was like right before we left Mitros. I think it was you know what it was? It was the tower. It was the fucking tower, I think, that this broke. Is that I think she got a little bit more self-preservation, and then just like run into the middle of things to just get like absolutely rocked. She hasn't really been doing that in many combats at this point.
It only took becoming a statue to understand.
Multiple times. Multiple times. It's fine. Sometimes that still doesn't help. Sometimes I just become a statue anyway. It's fine.
What's your answer? I want to know. What's changed the most about Leo? What's remained the same?
What's changed most, I think, is just definitely just more living in the now instead of the past. Because early on, he was just all about the past, and like, I'm pretty sure he's still sad and stuff, but like, you know, we've kind of just been very focused on we have 40 days left. We need to figure out how to get everything you know, figured out. But the thing that, you know, remains the same is he's still the lovable goof. I think I want to, you know, keep that, even though everyone's like saying he's leader and stuff and like captain of the ship, and it's just like sure, I'll figure that out. But and the only thing that I think that's changed that others haven't noticed is definitely maybe I'm gonna start using. I've been trying to use my abilities more, but I just can't hit things, so apparently I'm just
the dice hate you. They hate you. We gotta figure out like what type of ritual we can perform to make the dice not hate you anymore.
Well, yeah. If it weren't digital, I would just, you know, put them up 20 side up, and then just have them, you know, facing the moon during a full moon to hopefully, you know, get it energized. But alas, you know, they're D&D Beyond dice, and so I'm at the will of their digital moon, which hates me. But what about you, Chrissy?
Oh, I don't know. I think my answer is kind of just similar to everybody else's. Like, she came into this pretty self-serving, similar to what Heck said. Like, there wasn't too much she was invested in other than her own issues and what she was trying to sort out herself. So I think what's changed is that she's starting to also similarly, like, attempt more of the buy-in with the team idea of like, we're all in this together. I remember early in the game, like, there was a moment where I can't remember what her name was, but I think it was Pythor's daughter who was like strapped to a rock somewhere.
Oh,
And
dude, yeah.
I think I said to somebody in the game, I was like, you don't get to pick what you do. We're a team. And then all of us did something different, and that like, nobody.
Yeah, that was.
It was absolute chaos. And I think after that, I think DeFera was like, oh, okay, so everybody's here just kind of for their own shit. Like, this isn't a team sport at all. And then I think she's just circled back around. Like, I think she just kind of like Ouroboros herself and like ate her own tail on that. Like, she like thought that that's where we were going. We just circled right back around, and we're right back where we started. What's something I think changed that others haven't noticed? She has been attempting to talk to people more. Like, talk to them, not like at them, unless she's pissed off. But she is attempting kind of like some of those, like, well, tell me what brought you here so that we can figure this out, because obviously it's bigger than just going from island to island. There's more to this story, and we're not putting all the pieces together. So she's been trying to do that. So I don't know if, like, people, I mean, I know that you guys as players with me at the table are probably annoyed with the fact that I'm like, who wants to RP with me today? Which one of you little buttholes is gonna get it? Like,
no, like, I like it because it helps
good.
us, you know, get out of our shells and stuff.
So
someone's gotta do it.
Yeah, so I think like DeFera herself is just more buying in. And then me as the player, I think I'm just trying to really, I am not, and I say this knowing full well that Corndog in chat will probably lose their mind. I'm not necessarily a Warlock fan. Navigating the Warlock class has been hard for me. I'm a cleric kind of girly. So this is like a 180, and I intentionally did that to kind of just challenge like how I knew how to play and stuff like that. But it's been hard to navigate the skills and the things that warlocks can do versus what they cannot do and all of that stuff. So I've been trying really hard to get a little bit more knowledgeable about, you know, like we were talking earlier, all the things we can do and all of the things we have and all of the stuff that's capable. We have so many things because we've been doing this now for a while. It's like, I forgot about the olive oil. I forgot about the apples. I forgot about the, you know what I mean? You forget about all the things. So that's my answer. Tony, give us a thumb. All right.
One of these times it'll work.
Yeah, let's answer the one from the chat. Who is the most likely to bring their weapon to a beach outing? It's definitely
Eliana.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Eliana.
Not even a question.
Threnos as well.
Yeah.
But I think Threnos would pack the weapon at the bottom of the bag underneath this like sandwiches and snacks, and try to be a little bit more sneaky about it. And then when needed, he would be like, "Oh, by the way, I brought all these feathers that can kill people. No big deal."
Yeah, but Threnos just has a stick.
True. He has the lightning stick. It goes zap.
I feel like Leo would be least likely to be at a beach with a weapon.
No, of course not. It's a beach episode.
Yeah.
I find whatever we have and use it as a weapon when we inevitably get attacked by giant crabs or something.
True.
Yeah, and I think Corndog's right. I think Borghild would also, even if completely nude on a beach, would also have those things that they throw
question
around.
where they came from.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't question if Defera was on the beach, she wouldn't question it. But I feel like they would also always be there and ready. Corndog, if you could answer, where would Borghild hide her weapons if it was a beach episode? You don't have to actually answer that.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? I'm very curious to see what she's gonna say.
But I think
she wouldn't hide them. That's big brain. That's big brain.
But
I'm a threat always.
I think the thing to like remember about Borghild is that, and I know Corndog said it in chat earlier, is they've only been traveling with us for like a week or so.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been very long, so they're such a new addition that I feel kind of bad being assumptive about their character either, because we don't even really know them.
I don't, but I feel like there's still so much we've learned, which is the crazy part, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're definitely an open book, you know.
Definitely.
Most likely in their past life they were doing the exact same thing, and now just, you know, little time skip, still living their best life.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that leads, you know, to our next question from Yoda. I'd like to know what's y'all's favorite fight has been so far.
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't even know. Like there's been so many good ones is the thing, right?
Yeah, I think definitely the one where we have to protect the sacrifice from
that was yeah.
And yeah, like
that was like early.
Even just like or just like taking out the basilisks before anybody even knew. They were none the wiser. I loved that. That was really good.
They still have their eyes.
I really liked the fight against Esther. Like, that was such a big moment. It had like the whole aspect of like, okay, we still gotta fight this ghost man, but also we need to put that like ship piece back in like where it needs to go in the boat. And like, there were a lot of moving pieces during that combat, which I really like.
I think mine was the one where we were in Mitros trying to end the storm.
Oh, also really good.
We had to make that decision, we couldn't.
Yeah.
And so it was made for us.
I'm gonna be rogue. I'm gonna go rogue, and I'm gonna say my favorite was when we were fighting. Was it a Medusa where almost everybody in the party got turned to stone? There was like
Yeah. You mean on
The Lady of Coin.
Amazon Island?
Lady of
Or
Coin.
Lady of Coins. Oh my god. Yeah, that
So I
was
think
a wild fight.
I think the reason I liked that one was because it was one of the first times we had ever been in combat where it was like, oh, we all dying.
Because of that fucking tower, man. As much as
run away.
As much as I hated that tower, I loved that tower. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's how I feel about it.
damn it.
I like. At the time, it was so frustrating. I was like, oh shit, I really love this character, and I'm about to lose this character. That sucks. But also, wow, that was really fun.
God, yeah. It's like, I don't know if I'd do it again, but it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I really did like the couple of combats that we actually did on the island of the Amazon. Themis. I was just like, what is the fucking name of this island? I really liked those, especially kind of like the final fight where we've rallied everyone together and, you know, we double crossed the Lady of Coins. Fucking enemies abound absolutely wrecked Queen Thylea. Oh my god. It changed everything.
Yeah, I think so. There have been one of my favorite parts of this game. I think is how good Turk does when we get into combat with the enemy characters in creating like a genuine. I like genuinely don't enjoy any of the enemy. Like when we hit that last combat, I was like, oh,
I
so this
fucking hated him, dude. I was like, yeah, I didn't want to immediately jump to that.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, you're making this real awful, and I'm like annoyed, like, and I have it's a fucking D&D, it's not real, and I was like,
yeah, that bitch.
Yeah, like
exactly.
But Turk does that really well.
Like, yeah, just how he plays all the different ones. And yeah, no, Helios was insufferable. I didn't want to immediately jump to that being like, oh yeah, it's my favorite combat, you know, because, you know, pivotal moment for my character, because there's still so many other amazing combats. But that's definitely up there. It was challenging because I didn't realize how badly blindness disabled so much of what my character could do. Like, I didn't realize how many spells actually depended on me being able to see the person or see a point within range or something. I was like, oh my god, what can I do? Oh no. So that really kind of turned everything on its head. I'm not sure if y'all kind of had a similar experience, but that combat was rough.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
Awful.
But also very good.
Also very good.
Yeah, like even in those moments where it's really bad, it's still really good.
But it's like, no, how dare you eat the baby? Do not eat that baby dragon. Not allowed.
Oh, that was scary. I was just like,
that was so scary.
Oh my god. I brought them out in danger again, and now they're in super danger.
Right.
Yeah,
and
then,
the irony that HP's been like, you're not healing, or not HP, but Throno's like, wow, for someone who has access to all of our healing, you sure aren't doing it too much. And then I'm like, fuck you, here's healing. You're like, this whole combat. I saved the child.
True.
I'm doing it, Mr. Krebs.
But yeah, no, the way my heart sank at that, I was like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that with this little time left and everything. Oh my god. No. But yeah, no, man, there's some good ones. And then, like, I mean, just the classic, like, the very first combat we had against the boar was really interesting. You know, kind of started everything. And even though, you know, it was one enemy against a bunch of, like, little level 1s or whatever, like, it gave us a run for our money. Like, there were some times I was a little worried during that one, too. Even though we debuffed that thing into oblivion by the very end. It was great. And now look, they keep making our saves. Fuck.
Damn them. Well, time to turn on the bug zapper. That is the Spirit Guardians. Love it.
Alright. Let's grab another Turk question. I really like this one. If this was a in real life game, what snacks would you bring to the table to share and or for yourself? And for me, I always like bringing my favorite drink, like Mike's lemonade, something very sweet.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I like pizza, like, you know, especially if like the DM is hosting, like they usually do. It's like, here, you know, have food. Thank you for having us, and us, you know, screaming and yelling as we play a bunch of little silly characters.
Tribute. I know, like, my typical Wednesday group, every other week at the game store is like my Chinese day. Like, I specifically get Chinese that day. But one of my preferred go-to snacks is like hummus with either like pretzels, or I get those like Kroger brand veggie sticks because they're not $5 to $7 for a bag. They're only like
Yeah.
$2.50, and I'm cheap as fuck. Those are great.
Yeah, I'm very much like on the pizza train as well. I like doing that. If I do have the time, I really do like baking bread beforehand. Just getting like all the like spreads you can put on it and everything. And that's usually a really good time. I like Doritos. Like that's another really big one. Doritos are just a really good snack for just, you know, the whole table, I feel like.
They're flavored tortilla chips. It doesn't really
Yeah,
get better
man,
than
the
that.
Cool Ranch. I love the Cool Ranch. The only problem is all the stuff gets on your
There it
fingers, and
is.
then you have to roll the dice. Yeah, yes, the Cool Ranch.
I love knowing that, like, Doritos even said that they could make their chips without the bullshit getting on your fingers and it still tastes the same. But you're eating it
don't
with
do
the
it.
bullshit on your fingers for the experience.
Exactly. And then something I want to do for an IRL game at some point that my players did for me when I DM'd in person a lot more frequently, was they got like this like edible glitter type stuff that they put into like large bottles of Gatorade and essentially made like potions, which I thought was really cool. They were really neat. I would love to do that at some point. Cause yeah, they're all sparkly and cool.
Snack? Me? Couldn't be.
Couldn't be.
Could never.
The snack queen herself.
Yeah, man. Listen, I am a huge fan of snacks, but I also am a huge fan of like hosting. So whenever I do like I host in person games or in real life games, I always do like themes for whatever the game is. So I love doing extra stuff like that. So I suppose if it were my house, that's what you guys would probably have to deal with, is some sort of weird dinner or something like that I like cooked up and like made everybody eat. But like snacked foods, man, I love a Dorito, I love a chippy.
Yes.
I eat a little THC snack about an hour beforehand and I feel great.
Listen, if
I'm
it's
also a
those
huge fan of
Milkies
these
again-
guys. I don't know who made these.
Yes, the
I don't
nerd
know.
clusters. Oh, they're so
They're
good.
I
good.
don't think I've seen those before.
They're dangerously good. They're so addictive.
See, okay, so I've been on a kick where I really don't eat much candy, so I don't look for it, I
Okay.
don't buy it.
That's
The only
fair.
thing I buy, my guilty pleasure, are mints. Are peppermint, like Lifesaver peppermints.
Those are
like,
good.
I-
There's no
You know,
fucking-
good for you.
Like I am, no, it's not good for me because I'll just eat handfuls of mints all day long, and I can just like feel the diabetes growing.
Listen,
Because they're not
these-
sugar free. I don't need to like destroy my innards.
This has got the gummy, it's got the crunchy, it's got the sweet. This is it. This is a
The
vibe.
tart, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
These will be at every single D&D table I'm ever at, whether it's in real life or on the internet. So if I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, one of these is close by. And like,
I will say my favorite thing I've ever done for snacking is when I ran my TOA campaign at home, the Tomb of Annihilation. The first session, the last session, I made my players this big, fuck-all massive charcuterie board. And I have this Tavern Punch recipe, which is basically, like, the flavor of it is like drinking a cinnamon roll. You can't taste the alcohol, which is really scary because it's got a lot
so
of...
scary.
It sounds kind of weird because it's a mix of mead and beer and a couple other things that you're not like, what the fuck is that? Like oleo saccharum and like some cinnamon simple syrup kind of stuff. It's really easy to make. And I also got them all tankards for Christmas.
Oh,
So they had it in that at the end. If money wasn't as much of a problem, every one of my D&D home games would have a charcuterie board because those things are top. Like, I got like the Boursin cheese, and I would buy like go bake it at home baguettes and all that shit is some good stuff.
stuff I like doing too for in real life games. I just go over the top. But if we're just hanging out and we're sharing some food, pizza, little sneaky snackies.
Oh yeah.
I got like nothing
There's clusters.
And now I'm gonna open them and I'm gonna eat more.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta buy more. It's been like a hot minute since I've actually gotten them.
What's
All
next?
right. What is next? Question number 3. What piece of lore do you think you know and others have forgotten about this game?
What is the question?
What pieces of lore do you think you know and others have forgotten about this game?
Here's the thing. Very early in the game, I was given that piece of that ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I know where this question is going. That means one of us knows something about what's going on and none of us have any clue what Turk is hinting at with this question. So like, he gave me that ship piece on like the second episode or something.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't come relevant until like
Way later.
Way later.
30 episodes later.
Yeah. So what piece of lore do you think you know and others have forgotten about? I was gonna say that ship piece, knowing that like we had already resolved it. Sometimes I wonder, and like I wish Turk was here to like. I mean, I know he wouldn't necessarily clarify things, but like I feel like there have been things that have happened that we've kind of not glanced over, but just kind of like not paid attention to. That he very intentionally was like, interesting, and then like we just kept moving. Like that's the sort of stuff I think he's thinking about with this question. But I'm interested in what you guys think of what he means.
No, I think this really is just hey, like, let's check in on the lore because there's so much, right? Like we've gotten through so many things and learned so much about the Titans and the Five and everything else that like I don't know. I was like, I could tell you what I know, but I couldn't tell you what I don't know,
Mm-hmm. I really did think for a while, like, people have always asked questions about, like, Defera and Leo, and for a really long time I was like, am I the only person that remembers that broad said she would burn the world down?
No, we all remember.
Because everyone was
were
like,
there.
Just do it, just go for it. And I was like, hang on a second. I'm pretty sure his ex-girlfriend said she'd murder everybody. Like, I'm not just gonna hop into the sack with him when his ex-girlfriend was like, I'm gonna murder you all if anything happens. Like,
okay, but like,
she might have been
nothing bad has
just
happened yet.
exaggerating.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I said we were friends, and so of course we're gonna be friends after this, right?
Like,
There's-
listen, if she tried to make Thylea burn, there would be hell to pay. Like, there would be so many people that'd be like, hey, maybe don't do that. Like, you know, it would just be us. I feel like the rest of the world would be like, hey, wait a minute. So, you know, it's probably fine.
It's not gonna
So-
come bite us in the ass later.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Like, I know I
you know-
accidentally. But
I was like, this isn't lore, but it's something that I still continue to think about. And like, if we're talking about things that are gonna bite us in the ass later, I think about this often. At the very end of our time in Themis, and you know, as the Lady of Coins was dying, she like absolutely put like a death curse or some shit on Thronos, and it just no, we haven't talked about it since, and I still think about it. And I'm worried.
it's fine.
That is one that I'm like, oh no, like that,
It's fine.
like, you know, curses and oaths and all of that are so important, you know, to the lore and everything in this world. And I'm like, oh no, like what is that
also,
gonna
Leo
do?
made another oath with the ghost captain. And I
Yeah,
was like, that is bad, right, guys? I think so. I was like, I better tell them right away.
yeah.
And then,
There are so many things that we have like done and agreed to, and then we've just like fucked off somewhere else,
Yeah.
and like and you know, I think about things like that a lot with this game. Of like, oh, I wonder how that's gonna like bite us. But some of it has been pretty helpful too, like across the board. Maybe not helpful, but like it brings the story together for me a little bit more. Because I was really confused in the beginning of this game and how the story was like panning out, and now it makes more sense because of how things have played out. Like
Mm-hmm.
how important oaths are and how important curses are. Like all of that stuff makes a little bit more sense.
And so does any of the visions, because when I go back to my notes that I wrote down when Turk was giving me my little my grandmotherly advice that wasn't actually from Eliana's grandmother.
Amazing.
When she's like, go to the garden, to the golden tree, and then straight up talked about the sun god that wears many faces. Guess who the fuck didn't remember that information when we went to the sun god's thing? I'm like, wow, I should probably be suspicious of the gentleman who wears many faces. Maybe I shouldn't have been so kind outright to this random guy who apparently is a charlatan.
Listen, like I didn't want to meta. Like as soon as like we saw him, I was like, oh fuck, like it's him, isn't it? I didn't like I failed that insight check, and she was so tired. Calliope was so tired. I was like, I can't meta this. So this is how the dice are gonna fall and how the events are gonna play out.
But I think to some degree we've all had that experience where like Turk has given us little bits and pieces of everybody else's story. Like there are bits and pieces that I think we've all gained in different ways to bring the story together, but none of us in character necessarily. And to fucking Corndog's comment and in Borghild's defense, none of us have spoken about fully out loud. So like there's so many parts of it that like there are probably tons of things that Eliana knows, or that Defera knows, or that Leo knows about like his past, his life, or Calliope and Threnos, or whoever that like we just haven't talked about enough yet to like fully put the pieces together like the puzzle.
What oaths have we even taken? I mean,
So many.
the big one was like the oath we took in the very beginning to each other that like, you know, we would stick with each other, you know, to fulfill this prophecy. I forget like the specific kind of oath. I think it might have been an oath of service, but like I don't remember.
or like friendship or something.
Friendship or something like that. But it's like that's kind of the big one. And then like each of us kind of individually have taken different oaths, like Threnos, you know, with Folon being like a, you know, the oath of bros, I guess. Like I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Defera took an oath with the femme equivalent of that.
With Nessa, yeah.
Yeah, with Nessa.
And then Leo took an oath with his previous girlfriend of like to come back after the quest is done and stuff. And I was like, sure, yeah, whatever.
Yep. And then took
So-
another oath with a ghost captain.
Yep. I think
It's fine,
yeah.
TM.
It was fun. Well, yeah. Like maybe both of those will cancel each other out. You know, they both want me, so no one can have me.
Jared will have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, and then like we've also had like more transient oaths because like there are technically oaths between like hosts and guests, for example, and I brought that a little bit into play last episode because I knew about that whole thing, and it can be really serious if you break that hospitality. And that's why, you know, it's like, I'm not fucking just, like, gonna fight you, even though you're inviting me to. You gotta, you know, get rid of that oath of hospitality first. So really kind of depending where you are. And that was a little bit referenced in the very beginning, I think, with, like, you know, various folks on the road that would, you know, take our party in. That's also kind of one of them. We encountered another, curse, technically, the curse of the
Thief.
grave robber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy who, you know, stole from that grave, and then, like, you know, all food that you eat turns to ash in your mouth, and, like, it's a whole thing. Unless, like, you like, meaningfully find a way to, like, return it or something like that. So there's a lot of weird quirks out there. With different oaths, and then of course the big one being the Oath of Peace, which like we have referenced a lot in this campaign because it's almost like it's really important and kind of very pivotal to whether, you know, the world ends or not, or, you know, faces the tyranny of two titans that have already kind of like started towing that line for the Oath of Peace. But yeah.
I wish I should have written them down somewhere, not in like the daily pages, because now I have to find them all. But yeah, thanks BP for the next one. Your character just won 5,000 gold from scratch off tickets, and how did they spend it?
Beers.
Beers. Like no, like we've been getting a bunch of gold and stuff from you know, like some fights and stuff, and I'm just like, cool. Like, I should.
What are we gonna spend it on?
Yeah, no, like Turk gave us a list of stuff we could be purchasing, but it's just like,
With
yeah.
what time? What would we be doing?
Exactly.
We weren't like in a world where we were trying to race against time. Defera would be a little bit more extravagant in the things that she purchased and did. Like, Defera's lore is that like she comes from a very high class, like well-off family. So like her wandering around with like nothing but the stuff on her back is a little bit weird for her. So across the board, I'm sure if it were just and we didn't have 40 days until like the world started to collapse and we were fighting gods possibly, she'd be like, well yeah, let's get the like fancy tavern room, and like let's get the like she'd be spending money when she could. And buying armor would be fucking squishy.
Exactly. It's like I don't even know. It might be interesting for us to like actually build some type of homestead or something as a group, or like a keep or something like that. I mean, that's kind of the proportions that we're reaching at this point in terms
We have a
of
mobile one
money
now.
we've made. Yeah, I mean, you're right, but like, what about being on land? Like, we can't really take it onto land very well unless we upgrade it to being a sky ship. That's the play.
Yeah,
That's
that
the play.
oh,
The Ultros needs to become a sky ship, and that's what we spend the money on, making it equipped to do that. That'd be cool, though. Yeah, houseboat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and I think Leo just I think food, buying all different kinds of foods for everyone.
A sky ship to take Borghild home. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It'd probably be much easier to avoid Kentamane if we did that.
We could take Borghild home, but we would also need to travel back in time quite a bit, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. I think there is technically a time difference.
This
It's
is your
fine.
new home. I'm not exactly sure what you want here.
I was like, at least you were here for the dinosaurs. Oh my god, that's another combat that I really liked. The whole like having to fight the lizard king. That was.
Oh yes, King Gizzard.
It was yes, that was a very frustrating combat in the moment, but like really funny in retrospect. Queen Vita. I really loved all the lizard folk voices. They were great. I do miss them. They were good little companions. Remember how we almost lost one to the Hydra too? That was gonna be so sad. Oh no. But yeah. So, we kind of know lore, but not really. It's fine.
It's always really funny. So really quickly, Corndog and Borghild are like, what's happening? What's going on? To be fair, none of us really do. And I think we've shared with each other and with the table, with everybody, just as much as we all know. Like,
remember.
Yeah, as much as we know and as much as we remember. The gist of it has been all the same. We are trying to stop the Oath of Peace from being broken. And to do that, we have to go on all of these little quests. And we're really not entirely sure. And we know that, like, some of our family heirlooms or some important things and items are peppered throughout all of it. And we've been told, kind of. But other than that, I'm not sure what happens at the end of it either.
Yeah, although, like, it's not even necessarily that we're trying to stop it from being broken. We know it's gonna end.
Yeah, that's
thing.
true.
We know it's gonna end, and as soon as it does, Sidon and Lutheria are gonna, like, all hell is going to break loose because they've just been preparing and, like, mounting all of these weapons and everything they possibly can to overtake Thylea and just make it their own chaotic, horrible place. And, the people of Thylea are like, hey, we don't really want that, but does Sidon and Lutheria care? No, they don't care. They just want to do what they're gonna do. It feels more like, yes, we need to, even if it does take, breaking it ourselves once the time is ready that we think we can take them down. Like, we gotta fucking end them. I don't know why that's put on mortals, Corndog. It's the prophecy. There's so many prophecies.
Well, I thought the Oath of Peace, like, the point of it was that the gods and the titans, like, they can't step in. Like, if they step in, then it fucks it all up before.
Exactly, for the next 40 days.
That's why it's
so
okay
everyone's
for the mortals
preparing
to step in and do it. Like, the mortals are kind of just like the in-betweeners. Like, they can't be the one, like, everybody else can't be the one to set it off, but we have to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, we just don't really know what's happening.
I mean, that's almost what happened.
What's the plot? What game are we playing here? It's just us just out diddle-daddling around in ancient...
Yeah. That's what we're doing.
We gotta fight somebody, right? Corndog just says, we just want to get Layton vibe. That's true, too. Alright.
I mean, why can't we do both?
I feel like Borghild has been doing both.
True. I think both. Both is good.
Yeah. Alright, next question. Leo. When will Defera and Leo finally kiss? When will Defera and Leo finally kiss?
I don't know, but a more interesting question is, who has been your favorite NPC and why is it Sticky Kid?
No.
I really love Sticky Kid. No?
It is okay. Like, we don't have to go very in depth with that question. Because, it's like, no clue.
Who knows?
Who knows? But I
Haven't
will
you seen
say,
a rom-com? It's better when they don't kiss.
yeah, like there's a level to that like, and I really appreciate Comrade as a player at this table who has like ventured into this world with me. If it never happens, like if it never ever happens, you know, it's one of those things that like, because of how we've played this, I'm comfortable with it never happening. I'm also comfortable with it happening a bunch of times, you know what I mean? But it's one of those things that like has to fit well for, I think, the way Comrade and I play D&D, which is not necessarily like, you know, just running through and doing things just to do them. So like we are regularly like checking in with each other and like what's appropriate, what's not, like how you feeling about that? Is that too much, too little? Kind of that like red, yellow, green kind of vibe. Like, is this good or is this too much? So no matter what happens, I'm super stoked that it's with somebody who's so like gentle and caring in that space.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for being great.
Yeah. Use your safety tools, folks. This is a PSA.
Yes.
Tools. Talk to the players at your table, man.
Yeah.
Make sure they're cool with the things that you're doing.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think that, you know, a like definitive like scene where, you know, a kiss has to happen should be a goal. Like, that's a very strange goal to have in a TTRPG. And honestly, there's not really a place for it like that. That'd be, I don't know, teach their own, but that seems like a strange end point to me.
Well, I
I'll
think
say
it's
to
just...
some. Go ahead. Go.
Go ahead. Well, no, I was just gonna say, just it's definitely just video game related. You know, it's like, oh, hey, who do you want to date or romance and stuff? It's like, cool, boom, that is you have completed that achievement. This person likes you or something. But, you know, like there's more to it than just
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, just not making a choice and then doing it. But also, I think with Defera and Leo, so like in the beginning, for folks who weren't with us in the beginning of the campaign, we all were traveling in pairs together. So Leo and Defera were traveling together to start. So they've been together with one another the longest. And I think there is a level of them that is growing into, for if anybody's watched like, I don't know, modern anything, like the Bridgertons, right? Like,
oh god, yeah.
Like Colin Bridgerton and Penelope kind of vibes of like, it probably wasn't there in the beginning, but like the growth of the friendship has started to kind of like grow the romantic feelings. So to have it be like, you know, this, you know, ultimate goal, I don't think that's really the goal. If it happens, cool, but like I think it's more just exploring like how those two become very close.
Exactly.
For Defera and me as a player. And soon they're going to go up to Pitbull. That too.
Okay.
That too. Yeah. Now on to the next question.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide?
Dude, that's such a good song though.
No, yeah.
If you haven't heard that cover, hoo-wee! What a cover, what a time. You should also watch that episode. #intense.
Oh, I didn't know that was playing in the background. That makes a lot more sense now, Corn Dog. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was just random. Interesting.
That's a song playing in the carriage. It's real good. Next. Who is your favorite NPC and why is it Sticky Kid? Defera has a few comments about this question.
Oh, yeah?
Well, please explain who your best friend Sticky Kid is for those who haven't caught up.
What was the name of that city we were in? Astoria? So we were in Astoria, and Defera was wandering through the streets, and I think, if I don't remember, I'm not sure I'm remembering it correctly. I think something happened, and little kid recognized all of us. A little kid. I think
so, yeah.
I think recognized us while we were like on the street. who was like a very sweet little peanut with very sticky fingers, who was like eating snacks and like sweet treats and like all sorts of stuff, and kept trying to like touch DeFera's like cloaks and things, and she was like, this is the so she was like getting really flustered because she was like, where are your parents, child? Like,
Yeah.
shouldn't somebody be watching you? But this kid basically kept finding DeFera throughout the city, and I think it lasted a couple of episodes. I think we even left there, came back, and Sticky Kid was back again. Wasn't
Yeah.
there one where like Sticky Kid came back? Like, anyway.
There's like always been a strange companion following DeFera. Like first it was Sticky Kid, and then it was the seagull. The seagull
Yeah.
for the longest time.
I forgot about the seagull.
The seagull. Listen, so I that's why I have a few comments about this question. DeFera's favorite NPC? None of them. She's like, why do we keep collecting people? Like this is enough. Like we are plenty. We
No,
don't need
you're
to collect-
attracting them.
It's like
They
you know,
gravitate towards you.
we're like collecting NPC Pokemon, and like, so across the board, I think she's just really confused why people keep gravitating towards us, because like she understands we're like, you know, the chosen ones and we're on this quest, but like we're also on a quest. Like, leave us alone and let us do the things we need to do. So she didn't dislike Sticky Kid, but she just didn't want Sticky Kid to touch her. And Sticky Kid was really interested in all of them. Who is Chrissy's favorite NPC? I really did. I thought, and Turk, when you watch this again, I thought for sure that fucking seagull or gull was, or whatever it was, that bird was going to end up being some sort of messenger of a god. Chrissy was convinced.
Same.
Because Turk is so good at creating false pretense of, are you sure? Where like, I thought, okay, so I was kind of fucking rude to Sticky Kid. That's gonna bite me in the ass at some point. So I better be nice to this stupid gull that keeps following me around from city to city. And I was like feeding it, and it was like attached to me. I don't even know if it's still around, to be fair. I guess I should check in on that.
Well,
So
because like
I really
after
did like
Sticky
that
Kid, there was the squirrel. Remember?
Yeah,
There was a
that was
squirrel.
actually a druid.
Yeah,
But that was a druid, and exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there is always this kind of guess of false pretense of like, I don't know where this is gonna end up going, so like, I guess I just have to be nice to everybody now, which is not DeFera's bag. Who was everybody else's favorite NPC? I did like that stoner dude in the Grove.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was fun too. The one with my sister, who was unfortunately not great.
My favorite is definitely the donkey.
Oh, Apollo.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
our
yeah.
boy. We love Apollo. Yeah, I mean, like it's so on the nose, but I love Kira so much. Like so goddamn much. Because
that's
again, it was
actually-
part of that, like, oh yes, this person looks a lot like the goddess, but like she doesn't have any of the same musical talent or whatever the fuck like premise we were trying to do, and it's like, okay, it's kind of an open secret now.
Took a lot.
I
a
will
real
agree
long
that Kira is my favorite that has been traveling with us for sure.
Trying to think who else. I really liked all the NPCs in the Siren's Roost, right? Is that what the brothel was called? Like, I don't know. I thought that whole thing was fun. Especially with the scene between, I don't even remember his name, but the guy like trying to give Leo the information, like trying to do this discreetly, and it was like, you know, pretending like they were doing something back there when they weren't doing anything of the sort. We love our boy Bullbug. He's great.
Yes, he's very fun.
Corndog loves Pythor, of course. Hot boy, but also sad boy.
can fix him.
You know,
Tell me
as
who's your
frustrating
favorite
as as frustrating as the villains are, they're good. They're good, and I hate that. You know, like as much as we hate Gaius, he's a good villain. Like, god damn it.
Tony, who's Eliana's favorite NPC?
Well, if you want to go with Eliana's favorite, it's someone you don't know their name.
Oh.
She's not told you their name.
It's
So-
definitely the guy who's making all the statues of you, right? What's his name?
Absolutely fucking
I
not.
was gonna say, well, I was gonna say it was the dude who's obsessed with you. Yes, I agree. What's Tony's favorite?
My favorite. I'm like trying to go back through them and be like, who did we like? Who have we interacted with? Because we've had a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm trying to think who like left an impression that I think about, good or bad.
Your parents were a big one. Eliana's parents were a big one. They were my faves there for a hot minute, and I think they might have been Leo's faves too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they fucking were. 'Cause he kept fucking stealing them like a reverse parent trap. I think out of all of them was probably Lady of Coins. We kind of went up there, kind of fucked her up a little bit. She fucked us up a little bit. There was a little bit of a like mutual truth, and then it turns out like, hey, remember that evil person you thought wasn't so evil? Yeah, well, you were fucking wrong. They were pretty evil and pretty messed up in the head.
She was a pretty good evil one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, comrade / Leo?
Oh, my Apollo.
Oh, that's right. You did say Apollo. I thought you were gonna say Eliana's parents.
I mean, they're up there too.
They're a close second.
So next question. What's a backstory thing about your character that hasn't really been brought up yet?
Also, good luck in the sky, corn dog.
A backstory thing about
Be
my
careful
character.
flying. Let us know when you get home safe, please.
I would say it's something to do with why Eliana acted the way she did for so goddamn long.
Hmm.
Yep. That truth will come out soon. Who knows?
There were moments during Eliana and DeFara's kind of spat where I know DeFara wanted to like. There were probably moments where she was just like, "You're saying a lot, and I'm gonna get to that." Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't fucking trust. We're coming back to that.
So
But
we're pinning this.
yeah. I mean, across the board, I think there's a lot about all of us that we haven't really explored too much. I mean, I don't know. Like, go for it.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say for Leo, I think it's definitely the time skip of like being 500 years later. Like it was brought up a little bit, but then it's just like cool. He's just like let's be here now.
At least for Calliope, I think there's been maybe 1 or 2 comments made about this. Not really a lot, and there has not been a full conversation about it, at least to my knowledge. But she has noted similarities between people that she's associated with before the Oracle's chosen that remind her a lot of Kira's relationship with the Four Winds. That is, yeah, just kind of offhand, but hasn't really been delved into at all. Yeah, definitely one of the other. There's the whole backstory thing about, you know, hey, Dragon took down the entire fucking flock, like, oh fucking no, which is definitely a big part. But then there was this kind of time between that and the Oracle's chosen. That's kind of its own separate like mini arc leading up to it.
There's been a lot for Defera. Like, we met, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and I don't have access to the Roll20 right now to dig it up, but one of the dudes we flew back on a dragon with was Defera's ex-fiance. And, like, we just never talked about it.
Yeah,
like,
we're just like, wait.
She just got wasted about it. And everyone was like, Defera's just an alcoholic, it's fine.
Oh yeah, wasn't it Tarkon?
Yes, Captain Tarkon.
Yeah, I think so.
I just picked a load.
No, wait, he was your. I thought he was like your neighbor. Was the thing?
No, we were like betrothed, like two very high society people.
And there's been one conversation about it because Calliope completely misread what was going on. It was like, well, if he didn't see anything or like doesn't remember you, then it's not worth it. He ain't shit. It's basically what she ended up saying.
There's been that. There's been like us being at her house, like. We like slept in her home, like we never like there was been no exploration. There have been lots of things I think about all of our backstories that like because the game moves so fast and because there is like the time crunch of like so many days to get things done, that I think to some degree we've glossed over a lot of those things. Not because we didn't necessarily want to explore them, because I think the feeling of necessity to get things done has been a little bit more important. But as like for Defera, as things start to get more kind of like emotionally intense with you guys, some of that stuff is just coming to a head. Like, which is why she like picked a fight with Aliana and like, you know, is finally talking to Leo. She's like, who are we as a group? Like, we don't even fucking know each other yet. Like, but we do to some degree. And then we got Borghild, who came out of nowhere and is like from the past, and she's a Viking and doesn't look anything like anybody. Like, you know what I mean? She's like got like black makeup here and like all sorts of stuff, I think. Like, so I don't know. There's lots of things about our backstories. Like, nobody's ventured into, I think, asking about how Defera became a Medusa before. Like, nobody's ever asked that question. Like, what did that, you know? I've never asked about, you know, Calliope's flock. Like, there are so many things that, like, we haven't necessarily, I don't know, dove into. Oh, Corndog, I thought it was like 100 years in the past or something like that.
Yeah, like pulling an Avatar.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe if it's just 10 years.
I don't know.
And then give a random bit of lore about your character?
I mean, I think there's one that I've like very vaguely mentioned before, and it was more so when, you know, we made the move over to Neon Lights, and, you know, we were kind of reintroducing our characters to everybody and everything. But it would be kind of a good thing to read this, and kind of like one of my favorite facts about Calliope, I guess. But one of the mechanics with the College of Epic Poetry is that you take verses. Basically, you write verses about events that happen in the game. it's usually triggered by different types of rolls, such as like natural 20s on certain rolls, natural 1s on certain rolls. If someone is making a death save, there's a couple other conditions, but each time that happens, you essentially get to use your reaction to write a verse about it. The more verses you write, the better your bardic inspiration is. It has different effects that I can add to it. It's really cool. I like it a lot. It's a really cool mechanic. But how I've kind of had that manifest as Calliope has written more verses, is that instead of it just being just kind of like a book with a bunch of stuff scribbled into it, they appear more on the insides of her wings, so there's like actual written word on the inside, and once it's actually shown in light, they're a lot more visible. So it started out as really not that many, once I actually started taking verses at the beginning of the campaign, and now like I can only imagine it's just gotten that much more since like I've almost written all of them. I've written probably about 3/4 of the amount. I forget what it is off the top of my head, but it's gotten extensive for sure.
Next.
Well, no, Eliana. Tell us a little bit random.
Let's see.
Tell us about your love life, Eliana.
Yes.
I know
How many children do you have?
0.
One.
Fuck them kids.
Baby dragon.
Yeah, baby dragon.
That's a child. That's not one of my children.
Okay.
There's a difference.
I'm glad we made that distinction.
She does not like the color blue.
Any reason why, or just no? I fucking hate it.
It is not. It's kind of like everyone has just like that one color that they're just like, I don't like that color. Hers is like that cyan blue.
Fair enough.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Who knows?
2 truths and a lie. Tony just lied right to it.
It's canon now.
Cool. And then another question from looks like this Chrissy. What is been your favorite island experience so far?
Hold up, let me go grab the whole thing to be like, because I'm actually gonna have to go into the Google Drive folder to open up the player's guide to see at the very bottom the actual constellation map, to remind myself what constellations have we been to so far.
Open.
Let's see, we've gone to Themis, we've gone to Fire Island, gone to the Isle of Yonder, we went to the Golden Heart, gone to Scorpion Island.
It was for me. It was Scorpion Island.
It was awesome.
Even though I kind of fucked us, just dash. It's
fine. No, that was a cool moment. And like I still think it was really interesting that like, having the medium that we do for storytelling, like all being on a video call and being able to say like, hey, everybody take off their headphones and like we're gonna do this one at a time.
Right. Everybody's got to write on a note and it's gonna pass the DM.
Yeah. So it's like I thought it was interesting that the audience now like is hearing everything and they're probably like, oh my god, no. But like we have no.
Wow, these guys are really
clue.
fucked up when they don't know about each other, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, that was like my favorite too. That was why I wanted to know what others were. I think that was the point for me, the player, where I was like, oh, all of us are on completely different pages. That's fun. I like stuff like that. Like, I like when things go badly. I like when there's that, because I think it just adds to a better story.
Yes, more tension. All good. Yes. I really liked Themis, honestly. Like, really just the combination of Themis and Fire Island, where we're just like, we're gonna overthrow these monarchies and we're gonna change the entire political climate of this entire area. So good. So good.
Palmer, what was yours?
Oh yeah, I think the Amazonian island and stuff. Really enjoyed just that culture, like like a little tiny glimpse into a different way people are handling stuff. But yes, we're out here overthrowing and installing new leaders. This is always fun.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Like, we hope these are the right people. We don't really know. We just got here, but like,
They're,
it's probably fine.
Like, I think we've been very I don't know if it was serious, but we did contemplate just a Lady of Coin. Like, they'll be good enough.
Yeah, we really did.
But hopefully this doesn't bite us in the ass. But then we're like, no, they're pretty evil. Let's not.
Like, oh no, this is just gonna be replacing the same problem with like another problem. No, we don't want that.
And the last question for me: what do you guys hope to see from your character moving forward, with like growth and storyline, and like what do you want to see happen for your little character friends?
I think for Leo, definitely getting into that leader role and stuff. Being more in charge of like the ship and those kind of duties, and hopefully becoming a little bit more stronger and hitting something for once. Hope that comes to me soon. And then the storyline, yeah, we'll see what happens with the Pharaoh. And yeah.
What about you, Tony?
I don't know. Growth and storyline, huh? I guess maybe behaving more happily.
Ooh.
Because she's very kind of just like...
Very stoic.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I guess that and being more like open. That's gonna take time.
Yeah. I mean, that's not an easy thing in general. What about for Calliope?
I think we're getting so close to like there being some type of breakthrough here. We're getting so close, but not quite. That I really hope to see on Calliope that eventually she won't be drawing her power and her ambition and her determination from a place of hatred or anger at things. I would rather her try to draw that same type of energy from things that she loves and people that she loves. She's so close. Like, I really tried to emphasize at some points in that combat, and especially giving inspiration to the rest of the group is like, what are we fighting for here out of each other, and really trying to draw lines and dots between the rest of the party. A couple really bad turns though kind of smacked her down from that. So we'll kind of see if she builds a little bit back up to that, but that's definitely something that I would like to see happen over the course of the story, and hopefully the events and the interactions and everything will kind of lend that way.
For Defera, yeah, I'm not sure. I think so. Defera, like, I mean, I know we know this just from being D&D players, but like, she's actually like quite charismatic by way of stats and characteristics. But she's really been kind of saddled with this pact with the fates that she's kind of trying to like dodge some of what she knows is intrinsically happening inside of her. Whether it's good or evil, I don't know if she's fully sorted that out, knowing what the fates are capable of and what they do, and knowing kind of like how they align. So I would love to explore some more of that. I'd love to explore like what that really has to do with Defera as a character, and how that would play into something like her possibly following for Leo. Like, how's that gonna work? Because like, you never quite know what the fates are gonna do unless it's really their ultimate, unless they're gonna gain from it, right? So there's a lot to Defera that I'd love to explore, but I think exploring some of her capabilities, she's really trying to lean into, I'm not as bad as I can be. I'm actually quite good for what I should be. But at some point, I feel like that's either going to have to make her or break her by way of she's going to have to just be a fucking evil bastard about things. And she's tried to a couple of times. Like, there have been times where she's like cast spells or used some of her skills and like attempted to commune with like the fates or Lutheria or whoever, because of just how like things have rolled out and like it's happened. So there is a part of her that's very capable of doing very bad things, and she's trying real hard to like navigate that space. So I'd like to see how that goes. Or not at all. Fuck it. Maybe we'll just, blow the world out. Borghild will never get home.
You can't say that as the plane's backing up, too.
No! I thought they were already in the air!
I mean, they might be at this point. I don't know. We'll see if they put it in another chat.
Gosh. Were there other questions? Did you guys have questions for the rest of the table? What are questions you guys have? If none at all, that's fine too.
I mean, what do you think? Oh.
Corn Dog said, wow. No.
Oof. Go home.
So go ahead, Hex. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no. I think, we've talked about favorite combat and favorite NPCs and, all of that. But like, what has been like the favorite, like, either roleplay moment or maybe like a skill challenge? Because like, what coming to my brain was like the epic games and everything, which were really cool. What were some of y'all's like just favorite scenes in general so far?
For me, definitely when Leo was by his brother's grave and stuff. Like, I know I was supposed to maybe peek inside, but it's like, no, like, this moment's like, yeah. It was very fun.
I like that one too. That was a good one. When a tree killed me, that was a good one.
I guess.
No, I'm teasing you. I forgot that happened for just 2 seconds. I don't know. I've loved everything with Thylea and Leah. It's so much fun. It's a blast. I think that has been really fun. I think that any of the stuff with Pythor, as much as he's been kind of like a little turd, has been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Especially when we were like at his mansion and like Thylea just spent a whole episode just getting absolutely wasted. I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed, like the squirrels with the druids and the grove. That was so fun. Like, there have been so many times when I've left this table and I've thought, holy shit, that was good. Like, that was fun. Like, that was so dumb and so fun. I don't know that I could fully pick one, but I've really loved all of those ones a ton. I think finding Borghild was fun. Like, that was funny. Like, finding this, like, stone statue and, like, all of
like,
that.
inside a whale. Like, okay, that's one of mine.
Wild. Like, some of it has just been too fun to, like, pick a favorite, kind of, which is, like, a super cheesy answer for me, but it is.
No, I'm the exact same way, because, like, I really liked the, the games. Like, that was really fun. And to see, like, I wanted to try to compete in anything, even if, like, Calliope was not good at some of those. Like, you know what? I'm gonna try anyway. So those are also really fun. The entire, like, journey to get the Ultros I thought was interesting.
Flashback?
Like,
that was wild. Like, the flashback scenes?
Yeah.
Like, the one in the flashback?
Yeah. Or even just, like, the flashback episodes. Like,
Yeah.
I loved those. Very cool way of telling, what happened in the, previous years, without having to just, give a bunch of text and the lore drop and that's it.
If you had to pick a favorite, which fave?
Ooh. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know if I can pick favorites because now there's just a bunch coming to my head again. Like, when we all went to that school and we had philosophical debates and it hurt all of our heads.
Can't remember Al's character's name.
Oh, Ponos, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, when he did, like, the Gordon Ramsay.
Yes. Like, there were a lot of things in those early days that just were so funny and fun. Like, just so stupid. So I think Al's character was cursed?
Yes, he was the cursed one.
Yeah. So, like, I think at
Satyr.
one point they had, like, negative, like, -4 on modifiers or something for every.
Oh, yeah, no,
he
like,
had some really bad...
Horrible stats. Horrible stats.
That was like a +1 to his dex, and everything else was either like 0 or negative.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I could pick fully just one, but I've appreciated how much the table has changed from the beginning to now. We play a lot better, I think, to some degree also, which makes all of those interactions a lot more fun too.
I agree.
Tony, you're really not going to pick a favorite? Feels rude if you don't.
I'm debating if it's between the statue man. Because just like, it was so funny to me just to like, oh, he's just making these weird statues of Alice. Let me just stop that just to, get a little bit of favor. And it's like, I'll make them of you. And I was like, wow, I immediately regret my life decisions. Because now it's me everywhere. And oh no. That is not what my character wants at all. That and just how Turk's been trying to play the flirtatious Kira to Eliana.
It's very good.
It is very good.
I know, it's between all of like, you know, these couples getting together, I'm just sitting here like, oh my god. It's like all of my reactions. I mean, I'm not quiet about it, and my facial expressions are very loud, so I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, they're so cute. I have to mute.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to not meta things at this table specifically. Just because, like, even with DeFera being back at I think she was at the mansion because I had to miss a game or something like that, and she was privy to something with the statues and Kira before the rest of the team. And so, like, I think she left that mansion and then just, I think in passing, tried to, like, plant a seed in Calliope's brain, like an earwig of, like, yo, I think something's going on with this too, right? And, like, super gossipy because she's just a person of high society, so like that's what she's used to doing. She's just standing around and gossiping, and that was really fun to see, like, as DeFera started to unravel some of that, watching kind of Turk and Tony play off of that, of like, absolutely not, it's not happening, and then it actually is. Or is it?
Yeah. Oh, you know what's another one? That it's been the only time that we've seen even one of our Titans on screen so far. Was when Ty came on stream and with Sidon had that whole interaction with Threnos. So good. So good. Almost got very, very close to breaking the Oath of Peace. You know, completely by accident, but saved it. That was a really cool interaction.
Great.
Yeah, I hope to see more of them now that, like, you know, we're really getting into it. I really do hope to see, like, more folks, I don't know, surprise join into the call, and it's like, oh shit.
I mean, it'll be fun, but I don't want it. I like DeFera. I don't want her to die.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Are there any other questions?
I don't know. Chat, do you have any questions?
Power Rangers, do you have any questions? Do you understand your mission?
No.
Same. Looks like a no from Chad as well.
Yeah. Which it's 10:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time we could call it.
I think so too. I think, yeah, 2 hours Q&A and talking about what we like about this campaign. I'm happy with.
Yeah. No, this was great. Got to explore and talk about, like, stuff that we usually don't get to talk about and stuff.
True.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course, my artist friend just sent me something absolutely perfect for everybody.
Is it you as Eliana?
So,
Why don't you
Oh,
go
I
look
need
in the
to
Discord
see.
chat?
I need to see. Yes!
yeah.
This is very good.
This is the best thing I've ever seen. I wish Chad
Yes.
could afford to see it.
This is the best piece of art in the whole gallery. This is incredible.
Just so good.
I love this, and that's another thing I really do love sharing, like the inside jokes about, like, you know, the D&D groups and everything. It's just like, what does any of this mean? And now you all that tuned into chat tonight, you're in on it, but all the other folks don't know, so don't tell them. They gotta watch this episode.
There it is. And they're not allowed to know Sticky Kid was one of my favorites.
True.
Yeah, if Turk finds out, whoever snitched is plausibly getting retribution.
Great.
Allegedly.
Yeah. What happens on the Q&A stays on the Q&A.
Okay, so how are we doing the outros? Comrade.
I don't know. Yeah, make Comrade go first.
All right,
You're
yeah.
the
Let's
person who starts it.
outro ourselves. Hey, I was Comrade Crush. I played Comrade Crush today. You can find me on Twitter. I may or may not use. Yeah, just keep watching Oathsworn. I'll be here. And let's pass it on to Chrissy.
It's over to Tony.
Why me?
I don't know, why not?
Because
There's
that's
no
not the
rhyme or reason
order.
to
Huh?
How dare you not follow the ever so holy order?
Chaos.
Chaos and my D&D? Alright. Hey, I'm Tony. I was here answering your questions. Most likely. Probably. Who knows at this point? I don't remember. You'll catch me here in 2 weeks when we come back to frying these thick, meaty oats. Just the visceral reaction I can feel.
You said the oats are warm.
It was the meaty part for me.
Yeah, why are they meaty?
You need a real hearty, all-together meal. Oats have a smidgen of protein, but it's not complete protein. So just add your hunks of whatever additional protein you require, whether it's meat or otherwise, just for your balanced meal and for that extra chunky feel. Bring it over to, you know what, let's go back to Chrissy.
Rude.
You know, we're playing popcorn here, so.
Chrissy crits all over the internet. In this game you can watch me play Defera Damos. This was fun. I appreciate it. Where can you find me? Here, doing this. Only usually there's more people here, and we don't have as many questions to answer, and we're fighting things and people. And sometimes some of us are fucking gods. We aren't gods ourselves. We're literally sleeping with gods. I don't know. Maybe some of us are gods. Who knows?
Maybe we'll get there at some point.
We'll get there, maybe.
That's the
We'll get
DLC.
Yeah, that's the extended version. Where else can you find me? Rotating Thursdays over with Heck and Corndog McGraw, playing All Hail the Queen. And then on Rotating Fridays, I'm over on Christopia's channel. And we are playing The Reclaimer Season 2 with Legendary Vermin and Noir Enigma and me and Chris, and we're having a good time. And that's about it. Other than that, you know, I'm trolling around Discord, being a weirdo. Heck, where are you? Where can we find you? What are you doing, my friend?
Oh god, I'm so busy, y'all. You can find me all over the internet at SirHackalot, including Twitch, Itch, I guess Twitter as long as supplies last, etc, etc. Just find me. It's the best place to figure out where I'm going to be in the TTRPG space next. Because I tend to wander a lot and go a lot of places and wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things. It's, socials is usually where I post about what I'm doing, and my day-to-day life as a fourth-year vet student. I'm currently on my cardiology rotation, which has been pretty wild so far. So if you're interested in like any of that kind of stuff, I talk about it at least somewhat often, maybe more occasionally on anywhere you can find me. At least in terms of TTRPGs, you can find me, like Christy said, on rotating or alternating Thursdays over on Crits and Giggles TTRPG. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. On alternating Tuesdays, at least, you can find Corndog and I on Enchanting Sorcery, where we play Into the Old Margrave, which is an Into the Woods inspired 5e campaign. It's very goofy. We're all himbos. It's a great, just fantastic, goofy source of fun, if that's the kind of campaign you want to watch. Not on Wednesdays, for the most part. You can find me on Lantern Light Adventures, where we were playing Old Gods of Appalachia, which, we have been trifling with, very powerful beings, and I'm sure that will not bite us in the ass at all. It'll be fine. Then you can find me every other Friday right back here along with HP, who is not pictured here today, but is usually here for Oathsworn. He's the GM for Cold Hands Warm Hearts, which is our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. So if you're interested in more module type stuff on this channel, go check that out. We just came back from hiatus, and we have a very fun table full of awesome people, so you won't want to miss it. But yeah, that's me. I think I got a raid lined up. So I think that is where we say goodnight, everybody. So remember, be good people, do good things, and even the gods are bound by oaths and prophecies. Bye, everybody. Michelle, please take us out.
You have a thumb!
Thumb.
You showed it.
Prove it.
Mm-hmm.